You know, life sometimes feels like it's a race to see who can succeed first. And you know, two things can be true. You can be happy for your peers' success, but you can also be sad that you're not where you want to be. You know, with turning 30 this past year, I felt this immense pressure to have figured everything out. I thought by this point in my life, I'd have an established career, I'd be financially stable, and I just have this unwavering confidence in who I was and what my purpose was. But I have never felt further from that truth. To be honest, the last year of my 20s was the worst year of my life. I was so unhappy, I was anxious, and honestly, I was just so frustrated with my life. But the universe has an interesting way of forcing you to let go of things that don't serve you, whether you like it or not. Some will say it's Saturn return, others will say I'm shedding my old life to make room for a new one. But all that to say is that this transformation has been heavy and it's been extremely uncomfortable. And with more time on my hands, I kept catching myself in a cycle of overthinking and imposter syndrome. And let's be real, like social media definitely plays a role into this. From seeing someone's highlight reel on Instagram to the countless achievements on LinkedIn, it is so easy to feel like you're falling behind in life. And you know, sometimes I hate that I have so many interests and so many hobbies because I can't help but think, you know, if I just stuck to one path, one hobby, one skill, like it'd be easier to get to the top. But that is not my story. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm so tired of hearing your time will come. But it wasn't until recently that that phrase took on a whole new meaning for me. I honestly just reached a point where I was just tired of feeling this way. I wanted to like let go of this guilt of feeling like I was behind or not doing enough. So to start, I seeked out therapy. And I gotta say, as an introvert who has a tendency to just problem solve on my own, the thought of therapy was intimidating. But let me tell you, therapy has helped me reframe my perception of my own life, and I'm just eager to help you guys shift yours too. So I am so excited to introduce BetterHelp as the sponsor for this video. So if you're struggling with feeling behind or lost or just any mental health challenges, BetterHelp could be the solution you're looking for. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. I definitely had pre-therapy jitters and anxiety, but I have to say, once I started my first session, that instantly washed away. And I think a lot of that has to do with how well BetterHelp matched me with a therapist. My therapist was warm and had great energy, and I'm big on energy, so immediately I just felt comfortable and at ease, and I honestly felt like I was talking to a friend. And now I actually look forward to my sessions with my therapist. You know, one thing that stood out to me when I was opening up to my therapist about feeling behind in life was that she guided me to affirm myself that I'm allowed to take my time. And that sounds so simple, but there is so much weight in that affirmation. We're all on our own unique paths, and that should be celebrated and it should be honored. BetterHelp makes getting started easy. First, you go to their site, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer, via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. And I have to say, being able to schedule therapy sessions on my own time was something that I really value about BetterHelp. I've done therapy in the past, and you know, having a session scheduled by your therapist can be daunting at times. I really like the flexibility of being able to schedule at a time where I feel the most comfortable. So let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist that can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/LaurenJo or choose Lauren Jo at sign up to enjoy a special discount for your first month. You know, this year I really started living for me without the noise of my peers or social media influencing me. I stepped out of my comfort zone and made an effort to make new friends. I tried new hobbies that I've always wanted to do but just put on the back burner. And I started prioritizing my health and finding things that felt good and worked for me. And before I knew it, my anxiety and just this feeling of guilt slowly started to subside. You know, when you're so focused on yourself and not the opinions of others, you start moving differently, and in turn, you start attracting things differently. So speaking from experience, you know, if you're someone in your 20s or your 30s and you feel like everybody is moving ahead without you, this is your time to be selfish and put yourself first. In all the people pleasers, I'm looking at you. You know, putting people first might be the only thing that you know, but I'm gonna break it down for you. That is stunting your growth. This guilt about you feeling behind in life is nothing more than you being hard on yourself. And my therapist told me the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, she read me to filth on that one, and I was like, you're onto something. You know, for me personally, I am such a planner, and I think a part of this guilt comes from me not having control and just constantly worrying about the future. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Focusing on the present is what's going to shape the future. If you're negative or being hard on yourself, or you have a tendency to make yourself the victim of your own life, which I have done too many times that I'd like to admit, how do you think that's going to play out into your future? I think one of the biggest takeaways I've learned from this really confusing and uncomfortable chapter in my life is learning how to just focus on me in the present. You know, sometimes we're so focused on the end goal, whether this is getting the job, finding a life partner, moving out, but we're missing the lesson to be learned, which is character development. You know, I have to let go of the fact that I can't control the future, and stressing about it does nothing for me. But the best thing I could do is to take care of myself and let things play out the way they're meant to be. Now, I'm not saying this is easy by any means. I am a planner, I am an overthinker, I like to have control. But once again, focusing on yourself and what you can do today will have so much of a bigger impact than you trying to meticulously plan every step of your future. And let's be real, no matter how much you try to plan your life, is it gonna go according to your plan exactly? No. So what's the point? It is time for you to focus on you. Enter your selfish era and start from there. You know, society has this weird obsession with our 20s, and there's this idea that if you don't figure out what your calling is in your 20s, you are considered a failure. But we need to start rewiring our brains. And whoever is doing the PR for your 20s and your 30s, I'm gonna need a rebrand, because let's be real, no one knows what they're doing. You know, as humans, we are meant to evolve, we're meant to change our mind, and it is a part of life to figure things out along the way. Like, no one has the answers. And as my therapist shared, you are allowed to take your time. You know, we often see success as graduating, not having debt, maybe living on your own. And with social media, like, you can just get wrapped up in this comparison game and ultimately just feel like you're not enough. And I'm guilty of this, of just like fixating on what you haven't accomplished or regretting that you just didn't stick to one path. You know, this social media comparison game has convinced me that I am lost and has paralyzed me into thinking that it's too late for me. It's too late to reach success. It's too late to change paths. And with this feeling comes almost regret or questioning about your own life and playing this what if game. What if I didn't make this one choice? Or what if I didn't take this job? Or what if I stuck to that one hobby or skill? Where would my life be? You know, stressing about what you don't have or comparing yourself to others is warping your reality, and it's causing you to move at such a low vibrational life state. You know, this anxiety about wasting time actually has no value because it simply doesn't exist. Nothing is ever wasted because every decision that we've made leading up to this point has brought us an experience. And experiences are the lessons and answers on how to move forward with our lives. You know, experiences can be unemployment, it can be heartbreak, it can be, you know, any life change. And yes, experiences can be scary, they can be painful, and they can be uncomfortable. But honestly, like, learning from these experiences is what's going to catapult you into the direction that you want to be in. You know, life is so similar to dating and relationships. You know, in a relationship, you learn so much about yourself, about your insecurities, your deal breakers, your love language, and you know, you can read all the relationship books and listen to podcasts and, you know, take advice from friends and family. But in order to gain true clarity about what relationship is best for you, you have to experience it for yourself. And the same could be applied to life. You have to take risks and not see things as a failure or wasted time, because nothing is ever wasted, and you doing these things is actually bringing you one step closer to where you want to be. And if something doesn't work out, just like a relationship, you guys, you can now walk away with so much clarity and a deeper understanding of your own capabilities and how to best move forward for your life. Similar to a post-breakup glow up, I like to think that my life glow up is just on the other side waiting for me. I know feeling lost often has a negative connotation to it, but there's something actually so beautiful about feeling lost, because you are actually acknowledging that you want more for your life. You're just not sure how to get there. You are seeking more because you are meant for so much more. And that is honestly something that you should be excited about. You're about to embark on a new beginning, and you don't need to worry about the house. You don't need to worry about the steps that you need to take to get there. All you need to do is to partake in life and gain experiences. Experiences are going to give you the answers and clarity that you need to move forward and to honestly just live your best life. I also think that feeling lost or stuck blocks us from like recognizing how much our lives can change overnight. You know, when I'm spiraling about my own life, I have this tendency to make time my enemy. I often think there's not enough time. I have to accept my situation for what it is, or just live with this resentment that I didn't take advantage of my time sooner. But it's time to snap out of that. You know, so much can happen in a year, in a month, in a day, to be honest. And time is on our side if we let it be. I know there's so much resistance to that, and I'm speaking from my own experience, but going back to just being in the present, like, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself. So say it with me, you are allowed to take your time. You are enough. F what society has programmed us to think. You are allowed to take your time, and I'm excited for you guys. You know, ultimately it's up to us when we decide we want to move our lives forward. You get to decide when your new beginning starts. So take this as a challenge to mark today as day one. That is all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you made it this far, comment below, I am enough. So send you guys off with a little affirmation, but thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.